We have Murray Jameson.
We're just waiting for Lawry.
We're waiting for Murray, who is here. Is that you, Murray? No, not a Murray. Sorry, who was it?
David Lawry.
Oh, David. Yeah, I can see you way down there. Good timing, mate. Fire straight up the front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a plan.
Good to see you. Well done.
Nice. Might get warm in a few minutes. Rightio, straight into it, is it?
It's all yours.
Okay, thank you. My name's David Lawry. I'm a retired Commissioner Officer of Police, currently a part-time farmer. I live on a 16-acre farmlet in Yoldhurst. When purchased, this land was not subject to residential development exclusion rules due to the airport reverse sensitivity rules. However, this changed, and the current 50 dBA LDN air noise contour has the effect of denying further residential properties being built on our land. 50 dBA sound equates to slightly normal raised speech. That's about the level there. Submission. I have two separate issues I wish to address to this whole submission. The first issue is aimed at ensuring this year's annual plan moves to ensure the Greater Christchurch Spatial Plan is actually enabled or operationalised, or whatever word you use to make it actually happen. The plan is developed at a cost of more than $3 million, was widely consulted and has been agreed on by all of Canterbury's councils, yet remains just another report until it is enabled. The plan concluded that the 50 dBA LDN noise contour level is too low and should be removed. This finding is supported by the world-leading acoustic and airport contour design expert, Professor John Paul Clark, who identified that much of the land impacted by this unique restriction already had a background noise that exceeded 50 dBA. As a result, this residential avoidance rule is untenable, unreasonable, and disregards landowners' land use rights. Its removal represents a significant additional rating opportunity for the council. Income with zero risk to the airport's business continuity. The currently paused ECAN-led regional policy statement contains staff recommendations to ECAN commissioners on this subject. District plans should inform the community about potential noise exposure when considering renting or living within that contour. So it's advisory only. The second part was that the dBA LDN noise contour should not be used as a reason to restrict new noise-sensitive activities due to airport noise. I've put the reference where those documents are for your ears if you wish to look at them. Millions have been wasted on CAL's ongoing litigation over this air noise contour. Councillors seem to be tone deaf about the reputational damage it has created and the significant loss opportunity for additional rating income it causes. CAL is likely to appeal the RPS if it includes this clause. It is time to direct CAL via the current district plan or via leadership direction to cease all opposition to this issue. Government's RMA reforms are clear that greater cognizance of landowners' land use rights is coming, as will be landowners' ability to seek compensation from councils where landowners' rights are frivolously extinguished, as has been the case with the current avoidance rule. There is an opportunity for you to front foot this issue and grab the rating income opportunity in this year's district plan. So I'm trying to offer an opportunity, really. Second issue relates to the overall financial position of Christchurch City Council. I've supplied you with expert analysis of the Christchurch City and its wider group's financial position. It should be in your system all there. It represents hundreds of thousands of dollars of expert analysis, really, which presumably you've done yourselves, but it's there. My concern is the district plan lacks the urgency needed to address the high debt levels and poor returns identified. It continues to focus on your plan continues to focus on low priority FAD developments, in my view, such as proposed wheels to wings cycle routes, as an example. Efforts to reduce ratepayers' cost increases lack urgency, in my view. Actual control, ownership and liability for quality financial stewardship remains with the Mayor and the councillors. Do councillors fully appreciate the fact that a financial crisis and reputational crisis actually exists? The major financial risk is the very high and increasing debt levels. It really is a disgrace that the council entities have been allowed to have their liabilities grow to a level that it now exceeds all their total assets, exceeds it by $414 million. Why has this not been managed better? What systems have been put in place to ensure the situation does not continue to deteriorate? Total overall group interest-bearing debt on 30 June 2023 is $3 billion, an increase of $257 million from 2022. Do you councillors know what it is now, right now? I can tell you it's increased several hundred million. The council and the group are not currently in a position to repay bank debt. The total group interest costs, just interest costs, in 23 was $176 million. The ongoing trend is increased debt and debt servicing cost, which it seems no urgency to aggressively rein in. Debt levels, for example, would explode if the proposed new Terrace airport was to go ahead. An informed estimate indicates that the cost of that airport's proposed runways alone will be at least $1 billion, not including any buildings.
Yes, David, have you got much further to go?
About 2 minutes, or a bit. It's about 2 pages.
If you can wrap it up, because there's one question that
Okay.
they put their hand up, so I'll do that.
Okay, the project is actually on hold, apparently. I want to indicate, what does this mean? Estimates are that the CIL is still spending about $6 million a year on this on-hold project. And I indicate that there's another opportunity for people to cancel the project, save the $6 million that's being spent each year on this annual cloud on-hold project, and recover some of the $60 million cost of the 800 hectares you've purchased, thereby reducing debt. The other business issue is a return on all your $17 billion of group assets is under 2%, it's about 2%. So my illustration is the proposed 7.58 rates increase, largely brought on by, I believe, poor management, is unacceptable. A laser-sharp focus on reducing debt, increasing investment returns, and bringing down rates down to at least inflation level is required. But I don't see that in the annual plan.
And so Sarah had a hand up, so we'll do that.
Thanks. At a slightly smaller level, when it comes to decisions that we make in the annual plan, we often get a choice at the very last moment, once all the year's kind of wrapped up. If there's a surplus, and there's usually a small surplus, whether to use that surplus to reduce the rates take or to pay down debt. And one of those is short term, so it slightly offsets the next year's rates, so brings the rates down a little bit. And the other one has a longer term impact by having less debt, less interest over time. Of those two, which do you think that we should be doing at the end of the annual plan?
Well, I think that it's even worse than that. I think, sure, reduce debt, but I don't think your plan is showing a laser focus on doing that. I'm not sure there's appreciation of how bad these figures are. 2023, now I know the current figures, and there's a reason I know, because there's been more work done on it.
Yeah.
But do you people know it?
Yeah. But everyone talks about reducing debt, and when push comes to shove every time,
Reducing, what I would do is
we
this.
tend to do short-term sugar hits instead of long-term.
Short-term reduce debt, require your companies to have a better return, and use that return to reduce debt, but using that to actually kill projects that are, I call FAD, and use those savings to reduce debt. Your debt levels are, I mean, if I was in business and I had $17 billion in play, and I got under 2%, I'd be firing people.
Thank you, David. You've used up all sorts of time, but thank you so much
Thank
for
you
making
very
the
much
effort
for
to come in.
listening.
Good on you, mate. Okay, so we'll just skew back. Iona is